When my son was young, he had a pretty debilitating health issue. And most of my waking hours were in some way either thinking about that or dealing with the physical realities of it or arranging for care or researching how he could be helped. So, one of the gifts I think that God gives women is that as vessels, we physically are able to put our own shit on the back burner when someone or something that we deeply love or value, we feel is in trouble. I didn't even, we got to a place where we found a specialist. I live in New York, and the specialist was in Boston. And it didn't even occur to me to not drive, 3.5 hours each way. That's why we left at 3 a.m. To make sure that he got care that would help him. Like, it just didn't even occur to me that I wouldn't do that. And it doesn't just have to be for a child. I think your job could be your child. I think, and you could be a step parent. You could be, your relationship might need a lot of work, or your spouse really needs support. So in that way, I think that we just have this gift of being able to put ourselves in the back seat and really handle what we need to handle. However, we get really way too good at that. Welcome to Body of Truth. Body of Truth was born after years of me suppressing my inner voice. Everything I knew about my life changed. My marriage ended. My son left for college, and I was all by myself and needed to completely reinvent myself from the ground up. As I started to make major life changes, I found that the way to make these changes stick was not willpower. It was actually embedding these physical changes within my body, causing a muscle memory to be created so that I could live in a new physical reality. And it made those changes stick. What I hope to do for you is to give you some tips and techniques to start an inquiry of your own and maybe start to listen to your own inner voice and intuition. And one of the phrases that I use a lot with the women that I work with is you cannot pour from an empty cup, or you must put the mask over your own face so that you can properly help someone else. For me, it was feeling like there was a thick, transparent layer of glass between me and my family. I was so out of it. I wasn't present. I was a little numb. I was there, but I wasn't there. I had a lot of trouble focusing and sleeping, even though I felt exhausted all the time. So I know that that's typically called burnout, but it was so emotionally overwhelming, and it started to feel like numbness. I feel so much I can't even feel. So, today what I want to talk about are techniques where you can carve out and take back a little bit of your time so that you can fill your cup. And it can be a little bit at a time. Now, listen, I have time now. My son is grown. He is healthy. I'm eternally grateful for that. But so I have the luxury of minutes. I do. I don't have little babies anymore. And when little creatures or your job or whatever needs every minute of your day and you're in a crunch or if things are very demanding, I get it. I get it. But you've got to find a place where 15 to 20 minutes is for you. And so today I want two things. I want you to look in your day where you could carve out 20 minutes, whether that's before bed, wake up earlier, in the middle of the day you close your door. Then I want you to think of what are the things that fill you. Is it slow, deep breathing with your eyes closed? Is it writing in a journal? Is it putting on a song and dancing inside your office, which is a frequent of mine? Is it calling someone that you really know understands you and being able to kind of dump a little out? So what I offer you to do is I need for you to understand that you have the permission to be, first of all, human and fallible and feel exhausted and depleted. And second of all, you have the right, and I would say the responsibility, to take some time for yourself. Because if you don't, those in your life that you're giving everything to will not get the best of you. and you won't get the best of you. And numbness, to me, is the worst existence. And it's really how I feel depression really starts to take a hold and to really dig in. And maybe by the time you're numb, you really need to start paying attention. So again, what I offer you today, and I hope that you can take away from this, is look inside to what feeds you and build some time in your day to take that moment. Because it won't be one day that makes the difference. But if you are consistent and you take this time every single day for you, it doesn't have to be the same time every day, but it is better because you need to be consistent. When you are consistent, these little transparent layers will build into a brick of gold. It will give you resilience. It will give you a sense of self. And it will give you a soft place to land when you need it. And you deserve it. And I suggest that you look inward for these moments, not outward. Look for what you really need, what feeds you, not what feeds everyone else. I hope this was helpful. I hope it gave you a moment to take a breath and just settle down with yourself. If you found it beneficial, of course, please consider subscribing. Share it with someone that you think would benefit. Also, I am working on something amazing, so if you subscribe to my weekly content, you'll be sure to get notification as it comes into fruition. I cannot wait to share it with you. And I upload every day, and I will see you tomorrow.